Now, dear viewers, welcome again to the analysis of Yoleno TV. Now, Peter Kaluma, the Homa Bay Town MP, had some issues with some of those permanent secretary slots which our dear president nominated people to. Now, Kaluma's outburst has come ahead of the hearing and determination of a petition seeking to stop the vetting of nominees of those parliamentary select commission. Now, the concern that Peter Kaluma has raised is that there are seven nominated PSs who have nothing to do but to take home salaries and benefits. So the question that he was asking is, what will the Principal Secretary for Parliamentary Affairs do in the face of separation of power? So he was basically referring to PS nominee Aurelia Rono, that is the nominee for Parliamentary Affairs. So Peter Kaluma is asking what this PS will do should the vetting continue and he and she be approved. Then what is the likely role that she will perform? Because there's already separation of power between the executive and the parliament. So what will this parliamentary affairs PS do? So Peter Kaluma's main argument is that there is going to be the country is going to find itself in a state whereby now people will be financing salaries for staffs, for state officers who won't be having any role to perform. So one of the people that he has had issues with is the person that has been nominated into the parliamentary affairs docket. So Kaluma has touched on two very important aspects. But before we delve deep into those two aspects that he has touched on, please allow me to welcome you again to Yoleno TV. Kindly subscribe to this channel. You can give us a like, you can hit the notification bell so that every time we upload such meaningful videos, you will always become the first person to get notified. Once again, I'd like to say thank you so much for supporting this channel, and it's because of you that our channel managed to grow. So the two aspects that I view from Peter Kaluma's move is that, one, departments have been created to award political loyalties. Two, the government came into power promising to work with a lean cabinet and PS positions. So those two aspects are the biggest problems that most governments that come into power commit. Those are the grave issues that they commit. So the first aspect of departments having been created to award political loyalties. So this was witnessed even when Kibaki took power, whereby there was a bloated cabinet of almost 40-something ministers, whereby you saw Kibaki nominate almost 20-something ministers, and then the other faction of CORD, I think, the other faction of ODM had almost a similar number. So the Kibaki's government had almost 40-something ministers. So that was a bloated cabinet. But then when William Samoei during his campaign, he promised to work with a lean state department. But then we've seen the latest actions contradicting that promise. So the fact that the Parliament Affairs docket was created is what Peter Kaluma has issues with, because Peter Kaluma is asking, what will this person do when she becomes approved or vetted in successfully? So the second thing that we find very important, which is now the second aspect of Peter Kaluma's concern, is that the government came into power promising to work with a lean cabinet and PS positions. So we know that the country is now being faced with a lot of debt, with a debt crisis. We know that there's a huge problem of relief. There's a relief crisis. So the mere fact that this department is created or the State Department is created only tells us that there is a big problem with our government. Tungeona ubaya kama ingetengeza permanent secretary docket ya kuangalia lile janga la chakula ambalo limeaffect watu walioko, na angesema hiyo docket ita run for maybe 2 years or 3 years or 1 year, because it is just a temporary solution to be found so that the country can move forward and find ways of combating ili janga ambalo limeaffect Kenya. But since the government has already contradicted itself and created that position, then there's nothing that William Samoei Ruto can do. But the courts can decide that that position is null and void. But that one will now depend with whether William Samoei Ruto will abide by the court's ruling. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up there. But please, if you've not subscribed, please take a moment and subscribe. Once again, I'd like to urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again for our next analysis.